Howdy everyone, this is Mobot, this is Diamond Society, and welcome back to episode number 58. We are standing here at my base, currently listening to the Harry Potter theme song. Let's call it the Hogwarts theme song. It's not quite that, but here we are standing in front of the castle. Looking pretty cool. Here's what we worked on in last episode. We got a huge portion of this done, and then a little bit of it went away. Apparently a creeper blew up at some point while I was away, or actually there's snow down there, so there might have been a snow golem here? I don't know why there would have been a snow golem there, but it must have attacked a creeper and that blew up. So then it's going to need fixing. Looks like I just took out a couple chests and, a few pieces of carpet. That won't be too bad. But anyway, we got quite a bit done, as I said. We got all the walls and this ceiling in, or roof maybe. I don't know what you really call it, because it's kind of the same blocks on both ends, right? But from the front here, it looks a little bit odd. I can see that it's snowed as well. Let's actually get a mountain view of this, because this is probably going to look pretty cool with the snow all over the place. But in today's episode, we're going to finish that off. We've got some extra details to add into the place, and then hopefully it'll all be looking pretty cool. And yeah, I really like this view. That looks really cool. So one thing I really liked was having this L shape there where it just kind of goes up and goes to a point. But the snow adds so much. I didn't get to see this in the last episode because it hadn't snowed in between the two, or really any of the clips actually. I think I had it for a little bit longer than 2 clips. But yeah, that really does add a lot. Really kind of makes it feel like the whole Hogwarts theme's going on here. And one thing that does seem to be pretty popular was this thing here with the kind of like floating candlesticks with the fence posts like that. Yeah, that seems to be pretty popular. Seems like people like that. I'm gonna say that is a pretty cool feature of it. It was not entirely my idea. Let's actually quick pop over to the original build and we'll see kind of where the inspiration came from. So here we are over in the original build by Mr. Casperson that we're kind of basing our build on. So this is his main hall here, his grand hall. As you can see, his is much, much larger. But kind of the same shape here, same idea where we got like that thing, this like witch tower thing, and then the kind of shape's kind of the same. Got the entrance right here and everything. Let's go on in here though, and you can see same dealio on this one. So obviously he's got a lot more tables, and the room is just much bigger overall. He's got a full kind of like headmasters, or just kind of the head table. I don't know really what you would call that. But then he's got the same thing with the floating candles. He used a different wood. I used mine so that would have blended in a little bit better. I used the spruce wood. But overall, yeah, it's really more his idea. So can't take credit for that. Obviously going to the credit here. But yeah, it does look pretty cool. One of my favorite features of that room. So anyway, let's go back over there and try to finish up a couple of the extra details that are kind of left hanging. Today, there are a few missing bits in here that we want to be working on. First off, getting this builder to go up to the top, probably add a bit more detail in there. As you can see, you need a couple extra blocks here like the gravel and the cobblestone to kind of break that up. Add a little bit more color in here, some extra detail on the walls so that it's not so gray. Maybe do something with that area, some kind of detail up there. And then, of course, we got to fix this over here. But behind all these chests, I want to be adding redstone lamps. I think we're going to go with that because it's got the black border instead of this andesite here at the bottom. Try to keep the back lit up pretty well, because right now along here it's kind of dark, and I think that's probably how that creeper got over there. Actually, looks like we're gonna have to get a few more of those floating lights in there as well. And then we've also got then an ender chest to go right here, because we don't have any blaze powder, so I definitely got to find some and get that in right there. Kind of complete this whole front of the room. And then over along the back, we might be able to as well add in a small tower, and that's going to go on this side here. So if you come over here, we're just going to kind of break through this right now and just like, I'll fix that later. So this is going to come into a little tower right here. It's going to go probably like a spiral staircase down to the bottom so that we can have a mine shaft, because currently we're just digging in through here. Well, that's no bueno. We don't want that. We want an actual thing. Then it's going to interfere with this a little bit. So, maybe we won't be able to finish it in this episode, but should be pretty simple. It's going to be mostly underground and hopefully looks pretty cool. But first off, we just want to get a couple of those details into here. And it is going to take me probably a little bit while to actually find some blaze powder, because I ran around the nether last episode and I just could not find anything. I don't know where to go for that, so that might take a bit of exploring. Let's go on in here and take a look at what's been done so far. So I did end up finding some blaze powder here. Thanks to Cortez for showing me where that was at. There is actually a blaze spawner already uncovered, and there we have the ender chest right there. Haven't actually done all the walls yet or all the detail blocks and whatnot. I'll get to that in the next clip. Although the lights behind the chests here are all in, and they're pretty subtle. You probably did not actually notice that as I walked in here. I mean, you walk in, you really don't see them. little bit if you're looking for them, but now it does light it up pretty well. And I wish I actually would have done this clip at night. I just slept the night away, but you can actually tell a little bit more because it just kind of glows. And now there is no dark spots down here, and it's actually all dark on the top too, so they won't be able to spawn on that top andesite as well. That was in my face. I don't think I've actually done anything else other than just repairing that hole there. So now we do want to go through and actually get all these in. So we got to bring that up there, get some extra detail blocks in there, same dealio over here, and then add some extra designs in there so it's just not so gray all along the walls. That doesn't look too great. And then I think I might also actually add some, maybe some chairs back here. I'm thinking maybe if I start with like a half slab like right in this corner, and then go, ooh, that maybe would interfere with that. Maybe not, I don't know. Or maybe if I just like cut back to here, you know, maybe that could work. And then just put like a chair or something back there. Maybe not, I'm not sure. Might have to play around with that. It might not actually work because we do actually need to leave room for the item frames for when those all get down there. So one thing is that I did do is on this side here, I've started putting in some other items. And I know this isn't very good armor. It's all mob drops, of course. But it would be pretty neat if we could start getting some armor stands to be set around here and putting some of that armor on them. Especially the gold. If we get all the gold armor, that would look pretty neat. Same for chain, and maybe some enchanted iron would look pretty cool as well. The details are in for the most part, except for the back wall. And I'll get to that probably in a little bit if I can figure out what to actually do back here. Not entirely sure. But I got all the walls done here, and as well, it kind of did something special on the upper halves there, and then also did the front wall here. So right away, you know, when you walk in, you kind of see that on the sides there, that I've stuck in all the fence posts. I say kind of, I mean, you know, I guess if you're looking right there, it's kind of, but it's pretty obvious there that we stuck those in. And then I've also brought a spruce wood, I don't even know what you'd really call it, what would that be? I don't know, a big line of spruce wood? I'm not exactly sure what you'd call that, but it goes all the way across right over the top window there. And then that goes up to the edge and starts again over there and goes right back across. I also chucked in some glowstone here, and those all kind of hang down from those flat bits. You can't really tell, but if we zoom in from back here, yeah, there's a fence in there, so it is kind of hanging by a thread, so to say, but yep, it's there. And then there's the glowstone there. I just tried to light up the area a little bit better because it was looking pretty dark. And it still is kind of dark up here. But honestly, I think that's a pretty cool effect to have that cathedral ceiling like that. And then it just kind of gets darker and almost like it just kind of goes off and disappears like that. So yeah, that's definitely pretty cool. I think we're going to leave it like that. I don't want to bring any more lights up there. But then I also stuck in colored panes here. And I don't know if regular glass, just normal glass blocks, might fit better. Because right now, you know, some of them are full. Some of them are halves. Like those ones back there are full. Those are just kind of the halves right there. And there's blocks behind it that are exposed fully. Glass would just kind of take care of that, like if it were the full blocks. So maybe that's better. But this does show the color of each house. So over here is the blue. So you got the blue there. And then the red and the green and yellow are over here. So that's all looking pretty cool. I don't think I've done a whole lot else. Although actually if you look right here, got a couple of the detail blocks in along the back there. That's all looking good, and did the same thing over here. Brought each one of these columns all the way up, added that stuff in there, and then added a couple of lights there. Also just kind of smoothed out the whole thing. Added some of the missing blocks, added these cobblestone walls right there just to make it a little bit smoother. And then that fence, I also brought this out a little bit to actually hold the fence there. And then other than the lights, I don't think I've done too much. You can see kind of this, there's like the border right there, and that polished andesite that just goes along the bottom of all the spruce wood up to the top and then back down the other side. That's pretty cool. I think it's pretty good separation, especially how it pops out like that. I think it just totally fits. So now I've thought of something else. I'm actually gonna hold off working on the castle for just a bit because this thing here, and you know what this does, I already hit that. That plays the Hogwarts theme song or the Hedwig's entrance. I can never remember exactly what it's called. Hedwig's theme, maybe. That was built here by Hodag Romer, who was invited the new season, and yeah, definitely really cool. Still one of my favorite parts of my base, and I didn't actually build it there, so yeah, obviously amazing prank. We kept it around. We're gonna do the same thing to him. He's built this jack-o'-lantern over here, and it's not Halloween anymore. It is now Christmas. We definitely want to change that thing up. We don't want to be leaving it right like that, so kind of like a helpful prank, I guess, in a way. But, you know, it's the same shape as a Christmas ornament. So I think we're going to be redesigning this into that. And yeah, now the lag is coming as we get closer to the city. Trying to render in all that stuff. Absolutely crazy. And let's just kind of come up here. So we'll probably replace these jack-o'-lanterns with maybe just like a piece of wool and maybe like a yellow glass pane on top of it to look like an ornament. And then we'll completely rebuild this thing, probably change out some of these blocks to make it look a little bit more Christmassy. Not quite sure what we can replace the cobwebs with. But then when we come on in here, we'll probably yeah, we're just going to change the signs to be some other stuff. So we're back here, actually, I think what does this book say? It says, ooh, it says read me. I don't want to read you. All these, but there was a sign somewhere, I thought, that said, you know, leave a spooky Halloween story or something like that in here. Might change that to a Christmas story. And yeah, there's a lot of those around here. So we're gonna try to just totally make this trigged out into yeah, a big ornament. And actually, looking on the inside there, that's all brown. We could, no, well, we might replace that. I was thinking maybe just change it to a different color, take all the pumpkins out, and then it's an ornament after changing kind of the stalk to like the top of an ornament. But you know what, we'll figure it out. We'll just kind of figure out as we go. And of course, none of the blocks we're going to keep, you know, we're going to put them all in a chest somewhere nearby so that he can, of course, claim all of his stuff back. Okay, so replacing the last couple of fences here, or the cobblestone walls with fences rather, and replaced all of those actually, trying to make them look like candles. I don't really know if that worked or not. I mean, it kind of did, but overall I think it's looking pretty cool. We replaced the path rather, every single block now with a snow block, which I think actually looks pretty cool. And that leads right up to now the big old ornament right here in the middle. And it's actually got the little thing on the top. We replaced the pumpkin with the ornament and then the stem with that little thing that you would hang it by. And that thing's still rendering there in the background. Absolutely massive. And then all the jack-o'-lanterns around here are now just these colored pieces of wool, which are meant to look like presents. I don't know that it really appears that way. I don't know if they just like random colors, if I could speak, or whatnot. But, you know, they are supposed to be presents. And we come on now in here, and it says Mott's Jolly Christmas Ornament. I believe the sign previously said Hodag's Spooky Halloween Shack. If I remember correctly, we go on in here, though, and no longer looks so menacing. All happy with all the white and stuff. We didn't end up putting, you know, Christmas story or anything like that. I couldn't really think of what to do, so I just kind of left it like this. Had we done this a bit earlier, it would have made for a good place for the Secret Santa. Although, left the jack-o'-lanterns in here, tried to get some glowstone, I couldn't really find any. A lot of it's been already scraped up, which is surprising. For a good radius around the nether portal, there is not a whole lot of glowstone. And then the black glass on the ground was also replaced with the white glass, just to make this look all the bit kind of cheerier, kind of happy, totally anti-Halloween, and just completely fitting in with the whole Christmas theme. So overall, pretty happy with this. Hopefully Hodag kind of appreciates this. Just kind of redid the whole Halloween thing and then made that into the Christmas thing. And let's give him the rest of those. So the rest of the stuff here is stuff that I've made. All of this was either inside there and a whole lot of pumpkin pies, or was actually part of the build itself. Tried to salvage as much as I could, although I don't think I got quite all the leaves, all the cobwebs, or all the vines. And I could have sworn, oh yeah, the glass. I didn't have Silk Touch, so unfortunately I just broke all the glass. But anything here, of course, I mean, he can have. That's really not an issue there. That's all yours to have, and no problem there at all. So I've actually just managed to lean forward and make a very loud squeaking noise, so I apologize for the random cut here. But anyway, hope you all have enjoyed. Go and subscribe for more. But anyway, this is Mopbot, and I'll see y'all next time.